Hi everyone, guess what came in the mail yesterday? I got my paper pumpkin. So as promised, I'm going to make a card from the paper pumpkin. We're going to make all three of them. There's 3 cards, 3 each of each one, so the kit makes 9 cards. So let's see what's in the kit. But before we look at our kit, these are our cards to go for this month. Remember that I have a card kit. We can make 2 each of each one of these 3 cards featuring the Forever Fern bundle. So there are videos out there already to show how I put these together. Of course, you put these together however you choose with all the pieces parts. So these are the 3 cards for this month's cards to go. If you want them, please let me know. I do have some left. All right, let's stick these aside. And this is what came in the mail. Okay, I did take a peek and I opened it already because I just couldn't stand it. It comes all nice and packaged in this box, so it's like a little present. Let's just get it all out. And it's like a little present, so it's okay if you rip up the paper. So let's make that go away. So I haven't been a Paper Pumpkin subscriber for a long time, so I get this lovely little welcome thing, and it tells me how to mount a stamp to a block, which I figured it out already. It gives me a hint of what's coming next month, so we'll set that aside. It comes with instructions, woohoo! And it comes with enough goodies to make 3 each of these 3 cards. Okay, so I haven't made any of them yet, so you're going to be the witness to me making. We're going to do this one right now first. Okay, so I'm just going to get a little ink spot. Every month you'll get a little ink spot in these sets. So if you want Stampin' Spots, this is a really good way. I believe you can buy them from the catalog, and they're just little itty bitty mini ink pads. And I'm going to need it open, so let me see if I can get it open. It's going to be harder than... Okay, I'm going to get it open. Honestly, I am. Probably should have done this before I started the video. There we go. Yay, got it open. Okay, so just a little mini Stampin' Spot. Put the scissors away. Have some embellishments. You get your own little block. The paper pumpkin block. You only get this with the first kit, so we'll be using that, I expect. It comes with a little stamp set. This month was sympathy, so our stamps are geared towards sympathy. We've got a so sorry for your loss, really hard to see, so sorry for your loss, some flowers. I'm always here for you and sharing in your sorrow, thinking of you and wishing I could be there to hold your hand. So those are and a pretty little bouquet. Now these are some stickers that we'll use on this card. And it's in multiple languages. I'm going to use the one that I actually understand. You get plenty of envelopes, 3 each for your 3 cards. And it shows you in the picture which ones coordinate. Oops, some more stickers, which I don't need right yet. This is the background, the card base for this one. And it's white in the inside. So 3 of those. This is the background for this card. It's gold on one side, white on the other. So they've used the gold, which I think I probably will too. And the card bases for that one. And here are some flowers that they've already given you that you can just poke out. And also a decorative piece. Instead of designer series paper, they just give you the size that you need. And it's in here and you can just punch them out. So I don't need those right now. So these are the things that I don't need for this moment, so I'm going to set them aside. But what I do need for this moment is I'm going to make this. Oops, I need the instructions, and I set it aside too. I'm going to remember what card I'm going to make. I'm going to leave this handy. it up here. I don't think you'll be able to see it, but I'll keep it where I can see it. Okay, so I'll need one of these gold foil, pretty die cuts. Again, it's white on one side and gold. And we're meant to use the gold because that just looks so much nicer. You could use the white if you prefer. So the first thing I think I need to do, and I'm not actually following the instructions, although they are here, step-by-step instructions for each of the cards and pictures. So they are here. So I'm just going to fold my card base, and it would be nice if I had my bone folder handy, but I don't see it in my caddy, so I'm going to use my fingernail and fold that down. Now, what we're making here is a portrait card base. So the first thing we're going to need to do is glue on the front, the embellishment. And I'm just going to take my regular glue. You do need to have your own adhesive for this. It does come with some glue dots and some dimensionals, so it gives you that. Now I'm just going to run around these edges too, because I want this to stay on. And you see that I'm using the glue that I always prefer, because it does have this fine tip on it. And if I want to go around the edges, I really do need this fine tip if I want it to stick really good. And it will stick really good, because we're just gluing it down on card paper. And this is heavy enough cardstock. It's pre-printed, so you don't have to stamp your background or emboss it or anything. And it is nice and heavy. Okay, so the next thing I need on this particular card is it tells me to use this thread and tie a big bow. I did sneak a peek at the instructions already. I'm going to put my needle back in my glue. Okay, it tells me to take this and tie a big bow. And it looks like I have plenty here. Oops, almost dropped it. So I'm just going to tie a big bow. Oh, that got a little sloppy. And I don't know if that's the right size or not. It seems like it's supposed to come out from behind the sentiment, and I may need to adjust the size of it. So let's just lay it right there, and I'll go get the sentiment panel. Oh, I've already done something wrong. My bad. This is what came in the kit. This is what I already had in my drawer. So we're going to put this away. I thought I cleaned off my space. So put that away. We don't need that. We need what came with the kit. So I like this better anyway. It's a nice darker color. So before I actually go ahead and tie my bow, I'm going to get my panel. You can see from the picture, this is the one we need. Let me get my panel out. And it does just pull out, and it looks pretty nice. Let's see, there we go. You can see it does have about 4 or 6 maybe places that it actually attaches. So that is the die cuts they're giving us. Now it wants me, the kit instructs me to get out my stamps. And this one is meant to be a sympathy card. So it's supposed to say, sorry for your loss. And let me see if I can get that on there straight enough that I can use it. And then I grab my handy dandy little ink spot. Now with these ink spots, to me the easiest thing to do is just turn them over. Because that way you see you get full coverage, okay? Now just because I like to I like to try things out first. I'm going to use this little welcome thing as a little sample and stamp it. And it does, it stamps lovely. So I got it inked up right. So I'm just going to ink it up again. Remember, tap, tap, tap. And then turn it over and make sure the right side's up. And center it in the image and just set it down and just touch it. Remember, touch it. Give it a minute to transfer. And pick it up. Yay! Beautiful. Okay, I think we're done with that now. Now what the instructions tell me to do, oops, I'm losing that, is to tie a big bow. And I don't know how big a bow. It says tie a big bow. So I'm going to tie a big bow. If I looked closer at the picture, I might tell. And I'm supposed to glue dot it behind here. So I'm just going to give it a snip because I figure that's a big bow. And I do have glue dots as soon as I can find them. So I grabbed up a little glue dot with my take your pick tool, and I'm just going to stick it right there in the middle. And then, let me put this lid back on the glue, or on the ink. I think I'm done. They did give me some dimensionals, and I can pop that up right there. So let me just pick these up and put on the back. And I like to use plenty of dimensionals. And I am getting better at the little trick about picking it up. I say I'm getting better, so let me show you. Okay, cool. Got it. And just put this over top. And our final flourish is to use some of these beautiful sequins. I'm just going to turn this over and pick up the sequins with the spatula end. And you can put them wherever you want. It shows them down around here. And it looks like they've given me plenty to be generous with them. So I am going to be generous. Yeah, there we go. Because I have plenty. I think I can be this generous with all 3 cards. Because as far as I know, this is the only card that uses. So there is our card, all made up. Now that is pretty. That's really pretty. Now they don't give you anything to put inside, but you do have just room to write inside. So this is your paper pumpkin card. It's pretty simple. It's 1 layer card with some pretties added on top. It's lovely. Really it is. Now what I was wondering was if I wanted... Now, you can get a refill for the paper pumpkin, but if I wanted to reproduce this card with stuff that I have, so I'm going to set aside my paper pumpkin stuff for a minute. If I wanted to reproduce this card with stuff that I had, what would I use? So I went looking about in my stash, and although I don't have this... And as far as I know, there's nothing exactly like this in the catalog. There is this lovely little ornate from the Ornate Style. This one's called Ornate Layers Dies from the Ornate Style bundle. So there's this lovely little thing that I could cut out in gold. And there are several label dies. But the one I found, I'm using out of the Peaceful Moments bundle, or the dies are called, let me see, Painted Labels dies. And I thought that would be a reasonable facsimile for this. And if I wanted that twine, I don't currently have any twine that is that color. But what I could do, is take my Stampin' Blend in Mossy Meadow and color it. And this is just, you can see it's linen there, and then, oh, can you see? I'm not sure. It's linen there, and then it turns to Mossy Meadow. Now that's why I had this out. I grabbed this out of my stash. I believe this was in the mini catalog for Christmas. And this is a lighter green, so I decided it didn't really work. So I could do that. And if I wanted to mimic this outside background, I could use this floral folder. Okay? And this looks like a Mary Merlot piece of paper. So what I did when you weren't looking was I created this one. Now, since my sentiment, I was looking for also a sympathy sentiment. And the one I found quickest was with this set that goes with this particular die. So I just turned my card sideways. If I wanted to look a little harder, I could have found a sentiment that went this way and mimicked it exactly, but I didn't want to look a little harder. So I die cut with this. I label cut with this. And because I didn't want to get my fingers all messy, I pulled out this ribbon from my stash. I forgot to tell you, I embossed with this folder, and I just took a card base and embossed it like this and ran it through my machine. I took a white sponge and ran over the flowers, added my die cut piece, stamped and added, well, first of all, dotted on my ribbon, stamped and added my sympathy, and then I don't have these, although Stampin' Up! Has a bazillion kinds of sequins, I don't have them, so I just took out some basic pearls and then colored them again with my Mossy Meadow Stampin' Blend right here, okay? So this is the card I made mimicking this one. So if I like this, which I do, and I don't have a refill for the paper pumpkin kit, which they're only available for a limited time, I reproduced it on my own with my own papers, my own stash. Now, if you don't have a lot of stuff, this is a great place to start. If you don't have a lot of supplies built up, you'll get a different kit each month with different themes, and it's a great place to start. Now, if you wanted to, you could certainly add a mat inside, which is what I did because the inside of my card wasn't white. So I just went ahead and pulled a Mossy Meadow piece and then added on a piece of the new basic white for my card. But I mean, this is perfectly good. You could write your message, put it in its envelope, which is this one, and mail it away. And I love those envelopes. I like these pretty envelopes. Now there are ways to make envelope inserts, but I didn't do it. I just put mine in plain white envelopes. So there we have this month's paper pumpkin, the first paper pumpkin card, and then my version using things that I have in my stash. So if you don't have a lot of supplies, here's the way to go. Costs $22 a month, although I believe if you subscribe for longer, you can get some savings. It'll cost a little less. Or if you already have a bunch of supplies and you want to make something similar, here you go. Okay? I hope you like that.